Hey guys, Dan with Sterling Self-Defense coming in with another video. We talk about something a little different today. Going back a little old school. The T8. You know, the T8 and the T9.1 and the T8.1. But we're going to talk about mainly the T8 originals. Great gun, great for self-defense. A lot of power and metal detents, which is great. So much better than the rubber detents. Smaller barrels. One thing about these, well, they're hard to find because they haven't made them in 12 years or whatever. But if you do find them, the biggest problem is the barrels are too big. They're like 6.90s, you know, they're big. When we want 6.86s, but there's a way around that. I actually went through mine. I got a ton of 6.86 barrels, which is super hard to find, but I guess I bought so many over the years, I got lucky. So, you know, I'm not selling them. I know everybody wants them, but just happened to come across one. But in this, I have a 6.90, and I'm going to shoot it with regular v-2 rounds. And then a good round, what I'm going to recommend for people that can't find a good 6.86 barrel, is the Grimburg v-1. The v-1 is his original round, which is bigger. And he sells those a lot to TIPXs because they have higher bore in their guns. But I've been testing with these, and they work great in these, great numbers. So I'm gonna shoot it now. We'll see what numbers we get out of it with regular v2s. Then we'll do v1s. This is modified. The biggest modification on these you want to do is, of course, my VKS spring kit, the stronger VKS spring, bolt spring, sear spring, and it's already got a solid spring pad, so you don't need that. But what we do need to do is, in this gun, the bolt is the air chamber is part of the body. You see this little hole in the back, this screw. That's where the PRV is. I took the whole PRV out, the whole internal PRV, and put a socket screw in. It's a hard to find thread, but to contact me, I'll tell you what size it is and where to get it. I think I got them on my site too if you need them. But the greatest thing about this PRV delete on this one, it really helps. It takes out all the guts of the PRV, and being this body is now the air chamber. See this secondary piece on the upper? That's actually the air chamber. So the bolt screws, the bolt itself has a two-part air chamber. It has this, and then the piece the bolt slides on screws into this. So this initially is your air chamber, and that's your volume. So when you take out the PRV, what you're doing is you're creating more volume. So you're almost up to a VKS size volume on this, so you get a lot more power because you got more volume air chamber. That's how you get more volume. That's how we do it with the VKS kit. The VKS bolt is bigger air chamber than an FSC standard, but it's a third bigger. And this one's just under a third, so it's almost up to VKS. So you get really good numbers. Not crazy insane numbers, but good numbers. But okay, we'll get the V2s. Let me grab these first. I'm trying to keep everything separated. So I don't want to mix them up because it's a whole pain in the ass. Especially when they weigh the same, but they're different sizes. So you really got to keep them apart. You don't want your balls all getting mixed together and mating, and then you get some crazy hybrid ball, which you don't want any hybrid balls. Those are garbage. So, all right, load her up. And I'm going to be using the HPA airline because I'm not wasting a million CO2s to test this. All right, so V2 is on the first test. What kind of numbers we get? And the old school T8 original. This usually comes with a silver barrel. There's a silver that goes in this one. Looks a lot nicer with it. But my silver is 6.86, so it doesn't apply to this test. All right. Air up. Good click. 362. This is the V2. 356. Woo! Came back at me. 352. 358. All right. You get the beat. I'll get one more. 354. Badger, go get that jewel. All right. So that's jewel V2s. These won't have the here. So the barrel's a little big, so you get a lot of blow by, which it sounds like a great number, but you know, it should be getting a lot more if it had a better bore barrel. Now, Grimburg V1s, I keep them in the bag so they don't mix. Oh wait, I gotta just said that. I gotta empty out my track so I don't mix them in there. Most of them bounced out, so that worked out. Not well. Now I'm gonna have to measure all those. The good thing about the V1 though, it was before he really improved his rounds. So the V1, you can see a little line on it from the cast, from the mold. So at least you're able to check them. I'm thinking these are my regular glasses, they're not. Alright, I remember what I grabbed now. Alright, load this up with V1s. Good thing I can't forget the follower because it automatically opens the follower because this is actually the right mag for the gun. Alright, V1's loaded up. Drop the V2. Grab that before the dog eats it. Now, I don't know what it is, barrel. Alright, here we go. Alright, 690 barrel. With now V1, 8 gram. Oh, there we go. Woo, 400. Look at the difference in that. Unbelievable. Like 40, you know, over 40 FPS. Whoa, get back at me. Another 400. Oh, man, I gotta work on my trap. 374. Well, you see, huge difference. No difference in weight, just difference in round. 396. 402. So 60 joules out of this little sucker. 398. Oh, I gotta remember what that was. 394. You guys get the point. Don't want to mix any other ones up with the rest of my other ones on the floor. Air up. Got back in the bag. Let me grab that one I saw where I know where it went. The rest of them I have no idea. A couple of them exploded in the trap. A lot of power going through there. That's the V1. So you see the difference in power. It's huge. So it's all about barrel, the right size bore, and the right size round. Now usually the V1s, they used to get stuck in a lot of the 686 barrels, but I think, I'm trying to remember back, this is going back like 3 years ago. I'm trying to remember, I remember we stopped using the V1s in the 686s because they were getting stuck. But that was in those eBay barrels. The problem with the eBay barrels, they're widely inconsistent. That's why they were cheap and on eBay and sell them by batches. And a lot of other guys have them for sale, but they won't give you the measurements. They say 668, but they're factory defects. That's why people got big batches of them, because they're 686, 685, 683, 687. They're the ones that went through the factory and got turned down because they were supposed to be 686 and ended up being not. And the differential and the company where bought them didn't want them. So they got sold out, and that's why you saw eBay barrels pop up like 3 years ago on eBay. That's why we call them eBay barrels. But if you measure them, they're wildly inconsistent. So measure them, find closest to 686 you can. But in the midst of doing all this testing, I noticed that even I was getting great numbers on my 686 barrels with the V1s. So it's kind of screwing me up. I'm going to throw a 686 in here, see what kind of numbers I get with the V2s and 686 barrel, which is the standard that we use. This one's a 686. We got metal detents. That's the one thing good about the T8 and the T9 originals. They got steel detents, and you see their barrels are much thinner. All the new barrels are huge overkill. They're heavy, huge, fat for no reason whatsoever. I don't know why I did that. Just made the guns heavier. But that's what everyone's used to now, so it is what it is. All right, so now I'm using a 686 barrel, the one that one came in. We're going to see how I'm going the wrong way, v-1s do in it. So now this is a v-1 in the barrels that we prefer to use, 686. See what kind of numbers we get. And if you pick up a T9 or T8 original, don't think you're going to get it off eBay and shoot it and you're going to get 60 joules. It ain't going to happen. You're going to get low numbers. You do have to do some modification on these to get these numbers you're seeing. You know, you look back at old Mac Josie's videos. He has T8.1, and none of those came anywhere close. And this is older than that, much older. This is the original design. All right. Eye protection. All right. So 686 barrel with the v-1. Air it up. $400. Great freaking number, man. Woo. $498. $400. Very consistent. $404. $400. Super consistent. $400. Man, right on. Super consistent. And that's all those rounds. So that is the T8. I've also got T9s laying around. And T8.1s and a bunch of other ones. But this one, these T8s are great. T8 original, T9 original. And it's a great carry gun, not too big. A little bigger than the FSC, you know. It's got a little bigger on the mag. You know, cut it off there and cut it off there. And it's basically an FSC. And you've probably seen guys do that. They take T9.1s and they cut them down just to the size of FSCs to make them small and more carryable. These aren't bad. You can carry, especially in the winter time. You know, you got a jacket on, a little easier to carry under on the side. But I like them. I carry a T8.1 all the time in a T9. I got this one 2-3 years ago. There's a great leather fucking custom case, beautiful, with the angle on it, you know, for pulling. Great button snap. This is my favorite. This is a carry. I carried this for a long time, still carry it. This is a T8.1, not the original, a T8.1. More modified version that can take air in the back. Can't take a rear ASA, but you can set it. You see some of my builds in the past with front tanks, top tanks on the T8.1. Great gun, very powerful. This one is all, you know, it's all modded out. It's got the VCAS internals, but it's also got a stippled grip. You see that? You know, for better grip, it's stippled all the way around. Takes a long time, but if you ever want to get into stippling, all you need is a soldering iron and a lot of time and some little soldering heads. And this one's widowed, what they call widowed. You can see the rounds in it. It's got a gap. Let me pull the mag out. Oh, it's also got an index mag release. Oh, it's widowed, so see that little slot? Now you can see how many rounds you have left without dropping your mag out. Yeah, so this one's also got the index, which I don't know why they don't make them all index. They should be. So you have to roll your thumb around. It's also got the Emperor trigger from Instinct Industries. Beautiful trigger, beautiful gun. This one's got a 686 barrel in it, bore. Just looking at the serial number, it's 3000. It's a pretty old one, 10 years old. Works great. Got the VCAS bolt spring, sear spring, VCAS spring pad in there also. I might as well shoot this one, see what kind of power we're getting out of this. But another great carry gun, you know. And these also fit right in the FSC regular holsters. These go in too. They just stick down lower. But they fit in perfectly because the whole body right here is all the same. So great for a carry. You see one, pick it up, modify it. They're great guns. I'll show you what kind of power it's getting. I'm gonna try it out with v-1 since we're doing the v-1 thing. v-1 tip. Hardest part about these guns is the mags. They're so hard to come by. Super expensive. You know, I've seen mags go on eBay for over 200 bucks. One went for like 250 bucks. Insane. But you can't use regular FSC mags in here. But there are guys out making printed mags that will go in one. So if you find a deal on just gun with no mags, don't worry about it. You can get printed mags for these. That work just as good. All right, air up. Nice click. Oh, I love this gun. All right, here we go. Oh, did I put the barrel in wrong? It's a T8.1 barrel, so it means it goes two ways. I probably put it in the wrong direction. But one thing you always got to remember that I never remember, as we've noticed many a time. Put the barrel in wrong, it will not load. You gotta turn it a single click. And take the barrel out, stick it in, twist it till you get to the spring, push in, one click. If you hear two clicks, you went too far. Sorry about that, I always forget. FSC barrels don't do that. First shot. We're not working. What's going on? I haven't had this gun out in quite a while. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's my favorite gun too. I haven't touched it in over a year. I gotta fail when I do a video? That's weird. Alright, guess I'll have to pull this one apart and see what's going on. Don't remember the last time I did something to this. The bolt's clicking, it's catching the sear. Yeah, trigger a little O-ring when it popped off. Well, that's depressing. That's my favorite gun too. Alright, well I guess guys you won't get to see that one. I'll have to pull it apart and see what's going on there. It's usually very reliable, but like I said, I can't remember the last time I used it. So I don't know, it may have been a part. I may have took a part out of it. Sometimes I do that. Someone will need a part for an old gun that's really hard to get and they're really desperate. And I'll pull a part out for them. Trying to do that, but some people need it. I'll help them out here and there. Oh, that sucks. I don't know if I have another T8 around ready to go. Got a bunch of them apart. 9.1, that one's apart. I'm working on another T9 original that I'm doing the exterior volume on the air chamber to make it bigger. That one's not ready yet. Alright, there's another gun I want to test though. I don't remember what it was. You know, I have too many guns when you can't remember what you got to test. Alright. Well, I guess that'll be it for this video, but basically, you got the idea of what I'm saying. If you see, great carry guns, great self-defense guns. T8 original, they're great because they got steel detents, which you really want, and any hard projectile, you want steel detents. Which I'll have news about that soon. Real exciting stuff coming up about that. We'll get to another video. And T8.1, sorry this one isn't working right now. I don't know why. I'll pull it apart and figure out why. But it is a great gun. This is my favorite gun. And I've used it for years and years and years. I've probably put at least 10,000 rounds through this gun over the years. Always no problems. Of course, there'll be a problem now. In the video, of course. But if you go back a couple years on Facebook, you can find videos of me shooting this. But great guns, and the v-1, something to think about. Yeah, he's got the v-1s. He sells them a lot for the TIPX. And I got to start doing TIPX videos. I got like 25 of them, so I should. Another gun, different kind of platform, but a decent gun. Not crazy high power, but self-defense, makes a good gun. And if Grimburg's got a saber, it's just a TIPX. And just like Berna stole the TCR, that's a TIPX internals with a different casing. You know, everyone's like, oh, the TCR is bad. It's just a TIPX. Not it's a bad gun. It's the same gun. It's just got a, you know, looks cooler. It looks like a machine gun. You know, that's why guys like it. But it's basically just a TIPX. They even got the same bolt systems now and everything. All the internals are exactly the same. You take them parts, the same parts. It's just different casing. But now they're wildly expensive. You know, they used to be $300. You know, 3-4 years ago, I got plenty of them. You could say, you get them brand new, they were $300. But now they're less lethal through Byrna. They call them something else, but now they're like $799, $800. Crazy. Really no difference. So if you see an old TCR out there, that's definitely worth getting. It's a TIPX, but easy to get the parts, and they're great guns, super comfortable. I like them, man. They're great for top tank mounts. I do a lot of those too. And it's got its own remote already built in, so you can run a whip right up to a top mount. And you can run both too. You can run CO2 off the back and the front at the same time, a little 12-gram CO2. But if you're gonna run a remote or a rear or a top tank or front tank, you always gotta make sure you keep a 12-gram CO2 in the cylinder to keep the air loop closed. So, all right, that's it for today. I will see you guys on the next video, and maybe I'll do a video on the T8.1 when I find out what I did to it. All right, take care. Hey guys, getting a little crazy with videos today. But it got me thinking, you know, those V1s are doing so good in the other guns. I want to see what it does in my carry. So I just loaded up some V1s in the John Wick carry. We're going to see what kind of numbers we get. I checked them through the barrel. They go through first. If you ever try this, check your barrels first. You don't want to get it locked up in your barrel. So air her up. Let's see what we got. Yes, I forgot the follower. Everyone's screaming, yeah, I know. Sorry. Forgot, went back to the FSC from the other ones. Doesn't auto follow, so here we go. Try it again. 472. 6-inch barrel. I don't even know what that is. Freaking eye though. 6-inch barrel. This is my carry. 472. 476. Oh, this is insane. 476. Man, the stability's phenomenal. Same numbers over and over. Whoa, 468. You see the kick on this sucker, man? Man, this is insane. I forget what joule, it's like 70 joules, something like that. Or higher, I don't even remember. I gotta do the math. 478. Man, this number's crazy. My rounds are still bouncing out, but hold on. 454. 472. Man, I'm never gonna find all these rounds. That's all. Wow, that's loud. 472. Woo. That's insane. Well, holy V freaking, well, I might as well clean my trap. I'm going to see what regular joules are, because now I forget. See what we're actually getting in the difference, instead of going back and checking another test. I don't know where the rest of those went. Badger, you're not doing your joule collecting right. Come on, Badger. Hey, Badger. Go get him. Go get him, Badger. Get them joules. Hey, Badger, come on. Come sit. Badger, up. Come on. Badger, up. Come sit. Say hi to everybody. Come on. Up. Get up. Stay. Say hi to everybody. Tell him about the burner you've been working on. He's lazy. His burner broke and he hasn't fixed it. He's getting really lazy about his channel. Right, Brett? Tell him. No? Nah. Yeah. Alright, don't get scared. We're going to test out regular V2s now. See what the difference is. Whew, can't believe those numbers. Glad I tried that test. Alright, V2s over here. Boxo ammo. Alright, anybody want to see the Boxo ammo? Here's what we test with. Yeah, some garbage ones in there too, but to be fair, you got to test everybody's. So that's some of the rounds anyway. There's a lot more, but that only has so many spaces in it. That's the ones I test the most with on barrels. You got to test everybody's rounds, just to be fair. You know, I know some are garbage, but can't be fair unless you test everything. And yeah, I was shooting. Oh man, I should put the vinyls in there. See what they do. Crazy freaking high numbers. All right. Now, First Strike's also got these little rubber balls. They're like freaking 2 grams. I want to see what they do. They're like 900 FPS. Just haven't had time to test them yet. Gotta stop inventing new tests. Catch up on all the tests I should be doing. Okay, it's just a regular V2. So we're going to see the difference between the V1 and the V2. The last shot on that was 472, something like that. Alright, almost got me, almost got me. Follower, there we go. I remember. This is why I don't carry T8.1 mags out in the field. An attacker or somebody come to get at me, I'd be like, oh, forget the follower, and I'd get killed. Alright. 432. Still great numbers, but you know. 434. But a big difference. 434. Oh, my trap stayed up in the air. I gotta go fix that. What the hell happened there? I don't know what's there with that. A new Kevlar with the ballistic nylon over it's working great except for the bounce back. I gotta do something about that. And last one, 434. 428, still great big numbers for a 6-inch barrel on a carry. 434, still very consistent. Remember, this is my VKS bolt modification with all the regular modifications, so not a regular FSC. 436, still the V1s are so much more, you know, 40 FPS more. That's pretty much what it did in the other gun. 430 on this one. It was like 40 FPS difference. A little high. 434. My trap's stuck up against, so I gotta aim high. Ooh, that's loud. Alright. Well, I gotta say, those are some crazy numbers. I'm telling you right now, I'm dumping. Oh, I'm taking, this is my regular mag that I carry. I got V2s in it. I'm taking my V2s out and I'm putting in V1s. These back in here. Big fan of V1s, but also understand these V1s, they look, you know, they're working great in these barrels, but you got to check them in your barrels to make sure. I was gonna, before the sidearm test, I'm like, oh, let me try in the VKS. So I took a V2, tried it in a VKS barrel. Doesn't work because its 686 is in between the rifling. So you got the in between, which is under, so these don't fit. They get stuck. Don't try V1s in your VKS barrel. I don't know if they work in the Grimburg VKS barrel, but I'll have to try that at some point too. But they do not fit in the standard VKS barrel. They get stuck. I stuck in the end. I had to run a swab through it and jam the fucker out because it was jammed in there. But now, hey, after this test, V1s are now my go-to in my sidearm. Gotta go to the store and get cigarettes. We're going out for the first time with the V1s. I don't know, maybe we'll have some problems a little late at night. Could be. Gotta get lucky at some point. Get some real world testing. Guess you shouldn't hope for that, but just kind of like to see. And well, we got the testing coming up soon with our buddy. Hold on, turn the camera around. This is one of those, guy in Europe makes the skulls, the ballistic skulls. And also ballistic, all kinds of monsters. But what he does realistic skin, you know, penetration. So this mold here has like this rubbery stuff that's like the consistency of skin, and a solid hard skull. It feels harder than a regular skull, but I guess, you know, he did a lot of testing. MT, whatever. You can look him up. He's in Europe. He does a lot of crazy looking stuff. Not cheap. Someone donated this to the channel. You know, they're a couple $100 probably. But real cool. You know, fill them up with blood. They got blood in them, so we're going to do the testing on that. We're going to start around 50 joules and work our way up. See if 50 joules does it. I think 50 joules will crack it, no problem, on a human skull, but we'll see. He's supposedly tested. He's got videos showing people hit him with hammers, baseball bats, to see the different impacts, what they do to the human skull. So that test is coming up. I ordered my blood. I'm just waiting on my blood. As soon as the blood comes in, I'll fill her up and we'll start shooting. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one.